Welcome back to the 3 steps to avoid emotional eating when you're not hungry. In the last segment, we talked about becoming aware of negative habit loops. Remember that loop that includes the trigger, the behavior, and the reward that keeps sucking you into repeating the same unwanted behaviors over and over. The second step to avoid emotional eating when you're not hungry is to change your state of mind. I've noticed a common thread when I'm talking to my bariatric buddies as we go through this pandemic, and that's that while everyone's emotional triggers are very unique, they tend to fall under one of 3 umbrellas: fear, stress, or loneliness. To combat these emotions, we need to change our state of mind. I know when I'm dealing with these emotions, it's like being on a hamster wheel where the thoughts just keep spinning and spinning in my head until I work myself into an absolute frenzy. One of the situations that's been triggering my emotions lately is worrying about my mom. She's a senior and she recently experienced an absolutely debilitating back injury. One of the vertebrae in her spine ruptured, as in kerpow, it's not even there anymore, and a second one fractured. She was in the hospital a couple weeks, in rehab after that. She's at home now, but she has to use a walker to get around, and she's still in some pain. Because I'm out of state, I worry. I start thinking about all of the what ifs. What if she falls? What if she can't get the supplies she needs? What if her support network falls through? What if she's exposed to COVID when the physical therapist comes to work with her? Well, I talked to my mom today and she's in great spirits and doing just fine. Yet here I am creating worry and drama in my head by focusing on all the what ifs. So how do we change our state of mind to get off the hamster wheel and overcome the fear, the stress, and the loneliness? I'm going to share 3 things with you right now that you can immediately put into practice. The first thing you can do is practice pattern interrupts that shift that negative chatter in your head to something more positive. Do you ever watch that show, The Dog Whisperer? Cesar Millan practices something similar with the dogs in that show. When they're locked into negative behavior, like, I don't know, say that they're laser focused on another dog about to attack, or they're being very aggressive because they're afraid someone's going to take away their bone, he does a pattern interrupt. He goes, tss, and that breaks that laser-like trance that the dog's in. It's like, what just happened? Well, we need to do something similar. We need to snap out of the negative so we can shift to the positive. So honestly, I do almost the same thing Caesar does, but I do it for myself. When I'm experiencing the negative swirl of emotions in my head, I just snap my fingers. That's my pattern interrupt. I calm down and I replace it with more positive chatter inside my head. You can do the same thing, whether it's snapping your fingers, maybe you do just a light tap to your temple, or another great one is wear a rubber band around your wrist and just snap it when you catch yourself in the negative and you need that pattern interrupt to shift to the positive. Just whatever it is, do something gentle. You don't want to hurt yourself, but do something to break the pattern and shift into the positive. The second thing you can do is integrate ways to de-stress, to step out of that frenzy and to find a center of calm focus. Now, I recommend you do this in the moment, right after you do that pattern interrupt. And the best thing to do is to just breathe. Breathe in for 3 counts, breathe out for 3 counts. And just repeat that until you feel yourself regaining a sense of calm. Now, while that's something you want to do in the moment, I recommend that you integrate some habits in your day-to-day practice as a more preemptive approach to help you deal with these emotions so that you don't get worked into state of frenzies to start with, or that it's not nearly to the degree you're experiencing. There are so many things you can do to achieve this. One is to practice gratitude for a couple minutes in the morning or a couple minutes in the evening. Just sit there and think through in your mind all of the things in your life you're grateful for. You can also do meditation. Now, this is one I think a lot of people get intimidated by unnecessarily because they have in their mind that, oh my gosh, I have to meditate for an hour every day. I have to be the superhero of meditation. And that's really not the case at all. I mean, 5 to 10 minutes of a day of visualization can work wonders. And if you don't know how, just go to Google and type in meditation for beginners. It can be as simple as just closing your eyes in a quiet place, clearing your mind, and breathing. Another great one that I love is visualization. And the reason I love visualization is because your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So you can close your eyes in a safe place and just imagine everything you're worried about working out just great. If you're spiritual, you can pray. What's really awesome about that is you're kind of letting everything go. You're giving it all to your higher power and having faith that it'll work out just fine. You're taking the burden off of yourself. Nature can be a great healer for these emotions. Studies show that going for a walk or going hiking can reduce your stress. It can lower your blood pressure. And on top of that, you get some really good vitamin D, which elevates your mood while you're out there too. Other things you can do, I mean, think about it. You're cooped up at home, so why not let loose? Just dance around. I mean, who's going to see you anyway? And if they do, who cares? Or grab a hairbrush like it's a microphone and sing your little heart out. These things change your state of mind. You can also take out a journal, put pen to paper, and just work through your thoughts on paper. And here's a really great one. Smile. Seriously, for 30 seconds, just smile as big as you can. It will change your neurochemistry. If you don't believe me, just smile and see how you feel 30 seconds later. Any of these activities can be a game changer for you. Lastly, connect with others to combat the isolation. You know, you might not live alone. You might live with family or a roommate, but that doesn't mean you might not feel lonely. After all, we're used to interacting with tons of people every day. And for most of us, that has been taken away. So we have to find new ways to connect with people. One of the really great ways right now is to stay connected with support groups. Now, I know a lot of them are not meeting in person, obviously, but so many of them are meeting through Zoom or other platforms. And this is amazing. Like, I know for me, I didn't have my surgery locally. So for the first time in ages, I'm able to connect with my surgeon's support group. It's awesome. But any support group you can be a part of, it's such a great opportunity to work through your loneliness and your emotions. I mean, these are people that get it. They have a lot of similarities. So many of us in this community, we're used to soothing our emotions with food, right? So you're able to connect with people who understand, who can tell you how they're getting through and give you ideas and give you tactics to get through the day. And not only do you get to receive support, you get to give some support too, which is so therapeutic. But it goes beyond the support groups. I'm talking connect with the people in your life, connect with family, connect with old friends that you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe old colleagues you used to work with. Just connect, whether it's text, email, phone call, get on a Zoom call and have a little tea party to catch up. Whatever it takes, just connect with people to combat that loneliness. There you have it, 3 great ways to change your state of mind. The pattern interrupts so you can get off that crazy hamster wheel of emotions. Daily activities so you can calm and de-stress in a preemptive manner. And staying connected so that you are not in this struggle alone. In the next video, we're going to explore how you can replace the negative behavior of emotional eating with more positive behaviors. In the meantime, I've provided you a worksheet below so you can put together your own plan to change your state of mind. And if you would, share with us in the comments below just one thing that you're going to do. I'll see you in the next video.